Hello everyone, my name is Ted. A little grounder about myself before I start off. I did my undergraduate here at Glamorgan. I've had 4 life-changing years there, and I'm now working towards my Masters in Human Resource Management. Along with my student experience, it's been fused with employment experience in the Welsh and UK governments, BBC Wales, and now SPTS Technologies, which is here in Newport, where I'm here 3 days a week. To begin with, in my opinion, a lot of people have their opinions about the merger, and despite whether people see it as a good or a bad thing, it's happened now, and in my opinion, it's up to us to make it work as a collective. We are now the 6th biggest university in the UK, and I personally see an opportunity for us as a collective to make it better and to consolidate on the good practices between both former institutions. As president, I look at the institutions, for example, some kind of audit, identifying the strengths and weaknesses of both former institutions to ensure that a fair and impartial process is ensured. And because of this merger, the student experience is more important than ever, and the student experience should not be left behind. And with the role as president, being that student voice, representing you, the students, I see social activities and student welfare as my priority. With the student experience in mind, I would see communication reached out to all students through initiatives such as sports results read out at the main nightclub events in Newport, or a suggestion scheme for effective student consultation so that the student voice is heard. If you agree with my outlook on USW moving forward, then please vote Ted for Pres. Thank you.
Hi friends, my name is Ashik Thomas and I'm doing BSc Nursing in Glamlife campus, and I'm enrolled in year 1. And this election is a great challenge for me because I'm new to this country. I'm from India, and I will do my level best to make the student union a key part of our campus life. And I will dedicate myself, and I will do whatever I can do for the betterment of student union and the university. And I will be a good mediator in between the students and the university. And I would like to serve people. That is why I choose my career as a that is why I'm doing nursing. Likewise, I can serve my students, my friends, colleagues, and everyone. If anyone want any support at any time, I'm ready to help anyone. And I agree that I will do my level best if you elect me as a president. Thank you.
Bore da Casnewydd. My name is Caris Rhiannon, and I'm running for president in your SU. I'm not going to talk about what I'm going to do as a collective as the university, because I think our individual campuses are important. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the history. In 1841, the Mechanics Institute officially opened here in Newport. For 2 shillings a quarter, individuals can study subjects such as knowledge and popular superstition. Although this seems like a long time ago, it formed the foundations of the university we've come to know today. But what is it that makes Newport Newport? Well, that answer is simple: you. Our students is what makes our university unique. Our students are what defines our heritage, our tradition, and our values. Our students are what matter most. So if our students are what matter most, and that they define our university, then why are they often left in the dark with regards to decisions? Why is there a communication breakdown between our university and our campuses? Why is our students not being consulted in high-end decisions? As your elected officer, I promise to fight for an answer. I want our students to be a priority in decision-making. In order to do this, I will deliver the student view in all academic and board meetings. I will ensure that the priority in decisive matters is given to our students. I will certify that our views are followed up and not just put to one side. There was a talk this year that Mabel would not go ahead. I played an integral role in ensuring that our traditional event still went ahead this year. I intend on doing the same next year. I will battle to maintain our historic May Ball and expand the event to audiences and acts in the community. I want USW to integrate. Having a single joint event such as this will aid in the integration. With USW being the 6th largest institution in Wales, mobility will become difficult for your president. If elected, I promise regardless to represent as an equal presence across campuses. You should have the opportunity to meet me face to face, not just by email and telephone. If you ask, I will fight to get it. This year you asked for international representation across the campuses. You got it. You asked to keep May Ball. You kept it. You asked to be involved with union merger decisions. You were involved. You asked for a representative structure. You had representation. I will make change happen. I will act on my words and I will listen and voice your views to the fullest. For a candidate you can trust to be true to her word, vote Carys Rhiannon, number 1 for president. Less talk, more action. Thank you.
Very nice speeches. Okay, so now it comes to question time. Would you like to pick the question up? Okay, the situation with the questions now, I'll answer the question to one person, followed by the others having the ability or the option to. Okay. Okay, this is directed firstly to Ted. Do you think the community is important? And what are your plans with regards to community involvement with the university?
Absolutely. Well, that's what I just said in my speech. I think we need to work as a collective. I think one of the main ways to have integration with the students here is with the societies. If we can get the societies to work a collective, I think that's definitely one way in USW moving forward.
Community is a key factor, and it is very mandatory to be in community because it's a chance for everyone for their development and also for the development of our university. And yeah, I don't have any words to describe the importance of university because it's very essential, and I can say that it's quintessential part of it's a mandatory factor. Thank you.
Next is Carys Rhiannon.
Okay, so I think community could fall under 2 categories. You've got the university community and then you've got the outer community as well. So I think you'd have to work on it in 2 senses. One with the inter-community of the university, so our students. Working on things such as events like May Ball, Freshers Fair, those kind of things to get us all integrating together would be working on the student community. But I think more importantly is the community that surrounds our university. So the people outside of university, they need to interlink with us. There's a couple of things I'm doing in terms of that. I'm setting up a game with a round table in the area to try and get the community and the university working together. I've been working with the police in local pact meetings to try and get us to work together as well. I'm also trying with the BFG fundraising group to try and get a sort of, not a marathon, but a little fun run in the community across the Taft Trail to try and raise money for charity and to get the community and the USW on the map. So I think in terms of community, yeah, you can have stuff into university anyway, but then you need to look more outspread at outside organisations and outside people as well.
Please remember it's a minute to answer each question, okay? Ashik is next. No, calm down now, calm down. Okay, the question is, in what ways will registration with the Charities Commission be beneficial to the union? Ashik to answer first. 1 minute starts now.
be involved in a charity is a good quality, because by that we are serving people, and the ultimate aim of union is also to serve the students. So I think involved. What's that? So it will be very much beneficial for the student union to what shall I say? I don't have words. I'm sorry.
Next to answer the question, Karis Rihanna.
Okay, so charities is quite close to my heart. I've stood as chair of the BFG this year, which is our charities coordinating thing in the university. And what I've come to learn is that there are a lot of charities out there that need your help, but can also work on behalf of your students as well. So there are things such as the earthquake disaster that just happened in China now. There are a few students at our university that are suffering in terms of friends that are over there, family that are over there, and they're suffering here. So being involved with the Charities Commission and things, yeah, okay, it might get our name out there, it might get us recognised at the University of South Wales, and that's all brilliant, but I think more importantly, it's really good for the students, because with certain charities, it's associated with them, and they can see the benefits as well as giving to everyone else. So I think it's very important.
So next to answer is Ted Curry.
Well, in regards to the Charities Commission to benefit the student union, I was actually involved in the earthquake disaster, helping raise money for the earthquake in China. We raised over 50 quid 2 weeks ago, so we were very happy with that. Its reflection on the student union would be brilliant, because it is, as I said, and help USW moving forward, and the people who are involved in these charities is always going to help them as well. So that's my view on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, candidates. Next to choose a question, Karis. Okay, this will be to Karis first. What will you do to support student activities across all campuses, especially now there isn't an activities officer?
Being a part of 8 societies this year, I'm also a sports person myself. I can understand the sort of things that we need as sporting people. I've got really good links with the heads of our sporting staff, so I can use those links to interlink and push things around sports. There's been a massive push at the moment that no campuses has a swimming pool, and they're building a 4G. We've got 7 different rugby fields, we've got 4 other football pitches, so why aren't they expanding with other sports? With regards to sports and activities, I really do want to expand the number of sports we offer, and also where we offer them as well. At the moment, a lot of our sports are offered here and in Treforest, and I'd like to expand that to Cardiff and get them more actively involved. So I represent, with regards to sports, whatever's needed. So.
Next, Ted Curry to answer.
Well, to begin with, what I would do, I would support the vice presidents of each campus with the sports activities, because I know that's coming under their role this year. In relation to my speech earlier, in regards to identifying the strengths and weaknesses of each of an audit, so I'd look into, for example, the funding and the kits. That's the questions I get all the time from people involved in sport. So that's what I look to and work with the vice presidents on that, because I think that's what the students will be looking at the most.
Thank you very much. Next to answer is Ashik.
I will make sure that all the students and all the members of student union are actually participating in all activities, and I will frequently conduct events and like sporting events and everything like that, so that I can make sure that everyone is actually participating in all events. And also I will encourage the members of student union to interact with students and to make an opportunity for everyone to participate in all events and be engaged like that. That will be my step for this. Thank you.
Okay, so we'd like to thank all the presidents for coming up and providing their manifestos and answering some questions. Good luck to them all. So next, your favorite compadre, Pablo, running for chair of student council. Hola, monsieur.
Buenos días, Ash. So thank you for letting me know. My name is Pablo, and yesterday was my birthday. So thank you all. Tonight we're having a few drinks around my place. So anyone who wishes to go for a drink, I live down in the village. Please contact me on Facebook, and you can go and have a drink with me. There's plenty of beer, but if you want to drink something else, come along. Oh wait, this is for elections, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm also running for chair of student council. I've chaired way too many meetings in the last 2 years because I've been some sort of involvement here in the union, and I would love to keep staying a bit longer because I want to support all the new candidates that are coming through, and we do a great job. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget, 8 p.m. down in the village. Thanks, guys.
Okay, Pablo, you have some questions also, okay? I might as well just pick them up though. What do you think? Yeah? Read them all at once? Okay. As chair of student council, you will be required to liaise with student council officers and aid in the promotion of student council and democracy. How would you aim to go about this?
Liaising with the student council officers, I think the best way is through social media nowadays. I think that's the way that we've done it this year, and I think that's the way forward. What was the other part? Aid the promotion of student council democracy. I've read through quite a lot of the constitution and the bylaws. I'm quite aware of what's needed from the democracy side, so I can help make sure that all officers are within our union rules set by students. And promoting it, I will make sure I chase them all up to make sure they're all in the meetings, they're all up to date to what they have to do, because there's the kind of role that I'm going for. I just want to be able to help and push along all the officers to make sure they're doing what they said they're going to be doing.
Brilliant. Okay. So how do you propose to create an atmosphere of open participation within student council? For example, making sure everyone has a chance to speak and not take over. I think everyone is going to be in these meetings as an equal partner, and I think it's extremely vital that everyone gets a say. So I will make sure that we go around the room, everyone has a chance to speak. If we do have the view that some members are taking up too much time with the meeting and liking to talk a bit too much, I would either take that member aside and say, can you let others have a say, and make sure that everyone gets a fair share. It's not an issue of pointing out in the middle of the meeting, going be quiet, but doing a bit more subtly, because after all we're all working as a team together. So that's pretty much it. Well, thank you very much. I'm pretty sure you've already answered this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Okay, do you feel you are the best candidate for your role, and explain why?
I think I am the best candidate running for the role. Whether the best candidate overall, it's debatable, and I think that's for the student body to decide. That's why we have elections. I will try my best. I think I've done a fair share of meetings, and at the end of the day, it's up to the student body to decide whether you wish to have me here for a third year around. It's up to you guys. Wow, third year. But yeah, I think I can only say for sure that out of the candidates running, I think I'm the best person for it at the moment. But I wouldn't go as far as saying anything else. Thanks, Ash.
I'd like to thank Pablo for everything, and good luck with your studies, Pablo.
8 p.m. down in the village.
Okay. Next up, the vice presidents. So I would like to call Thomas Ojakova? Ojakovo. Oh, sorry, mate. Ojakovo and Verity Worthington. Thomas is down on the list to go first, so I'll pass it over to you. It's 3 minutes, okay?
Hello. Okay. First of all, thank you all for hosting this event. With the merge of both Newport and Glamorgan, very fresh in our minds, I cannot think of a more important time for us to discuss the future of this university. So we're at a defining moment in our history. Every student knows about the merger, and they're wondering how it is going to affect them. A vast majority were worried about it. Glamorgan would come here and take over, and we would do, and vice versa. And Glamorgan thought Newport would, we would do the same thing. I was very surprised at this because my instant reaction was very different to theirs. I feel that this is a fantastic opportunity to make the events that we hold at this university even bigger and even better. As emphasised on my manifesto, collaboration would be one of my major aims as the Vice President of this university. It is essential to collaborate in an effective manner to ensure that we're providing events for students to actually attend and enjoy. Attendance has been a major problem, I feel, with many events this year. I think the fundamental reason for this is the lack of advertising. It's perfectly fine holding the majority of events at this campus because obviously the SU is here, and it's also a brilliant atmosphere. I really enjoy coming here. However, it's imperative that City Campus has knowledge of these events. When I think back to freshers and refreshers, then I remember a lot of people were not aware of the events that were being held, and some people actually thought that we didn't hold a Freshers Week this year, which I thought was ridiculous. But if we're to make our events more popular next year, I think this has to change. And one crucial characteristic I feel that a leader should have is fairness. I believe that I possess this trait as I would spend an equal amount of time at both this campus and at City Campus and raise awareness for student union events, and in doing so increase the popularity of these events. On the subject of City Campus, it's my firm belief that it's forgotten. Everything is advertised in a much better fashion here, and it's not really beneficial to the other half of Newport students. And furthermore, it doesn't feel like a university. You come to Killeen campus, you immediately feel the university vibe. You can walk around here all the time, whereas City Campus, it feels much more like a college than a university, I'd say. People can, most people, the majority, go there to work, and we're even doing so. They have kicked out at 9 and sometimes at 5 at weekends. So my second aim as Vice President would be improvements. And so part of this aim is to make City Campus, extend the opening hours and make it feel much more like a university and less of a college. So that's my confidence and charisma and my experience as a student ambassador have made me very confident I'm well suited to be elected as your Vice President. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to introduce you now to Verity Worthington.
Hi, I'm Verity, and I'm running for the position of Newport Vice President. I chose this position because I've already done a sabbatical year here at Newport representing students. I've developed a knowledge about the role, what is possible and how to get it. So far in my sabbatical year, I've fulfilled all of my manifesto points from last year, which shows I can achieve and I'm not making empty promises. This year, I've worked closely with the course reps, seen better turnouts on course rep councils, boards they are elected to. We've worked hard, we've seen massive changes, and I thank the course reps for the opportunity to work with them. I've launched Safety Angels with over 70 volunteers, increasing safety on student nights in Newport, and placement opportunities for students. We did the RAG week this year, the Raising and Giving week, and we raised over £600, more than we've ever done before. I fought for opportunities for students through the merger, and I have defended things that Newport students wanted. I feel I'm right for the job because I've always been involved in the Students' Union. I have prior knowledge about the Students' Union. I have plans for the new role and could move straight into it. I have knowledge of the sports, societies and media, which have previously fallen into other roles, but I'm ready for them to fall into mine. I'm up to date on the merger, and I'm ready to fight for what the students want. Through talking to students, through campaigning, they've made it clear that they want to fight to save Mayborn. They also want equal representation on both campuses. This year, we have represented ourselves in the office more than ever before, making sure that we're down there nearly every single day. Next year, it's going to be even harder because there's only going to be one officer instead of 4. So I'm going to split my time equally so I'm there for students when they need me. I'm going to improve the facilities we offer to students, and I'm going to start a volunteering society, getting more students involved in the volunteering, better incentives for those volunteers, getting more students out there, finding out what other students want and feeding it back in. I think the right person for this job will have an in-depth knowledge of the Newport community, plans to continue Newport activities, and know about the Newport identity. I feel I have all of this. I'm eager, although we have merged, to make sure we can keep the Newport identity. I would really like to represent the Newport students for another year and make sure the Newport voice continues to grow. I think this role needs someone who is ready to fight for Newport students and really understand the power of student representatives. Because of the merger, it's going to be harder this year than ever before, and I feel I'm the right person to make all of this happen.
Thank you very much. First up, Thomas. Okay, to Thomas. What role did you play within the SU whilst a student? 1 minute to answer, okay?
Okay. Well, it's not really in the SU, but it's in the for the student ambassadors. Like, I've been a student ambassador for 2 years, and I know how important it is to sell the uni to prospective students and, let's say, sixth formers, and also mature students who want to come to this university. And I know how important it is to tell them the complete and honest truth, because then they will decide their future on that maybe one little thing that I've said. Like, if we do say, for example, off the top of my head, performing arts course, if it's not no musical theatre in it and someone wants to do musical theatre, I have to say no, we don't do that, I'm very sorry. On the other hand, if they're really, really into acting, then I could say, yeah, that's we do this. So I think, okay. I think student ambassador has been really, really helpful for me, because it's helped me to pick out the main points and also be very, very truthful to prospective students.
Thank you very much. Okay, same question goes to Verity. So what role did you play within the SU whilst a student?
Okay, so forgetting my sabbatical year, whilst I was a student, I was a part of the rugby team through all 3 years of the being in the university, and I was the captain in my last year. I started the LGBT society in my first year because there had no LGBT presence on campus, and I was constantly feeding the voice of my course into the structure of my course. I've always known the worth of the Students' Union in representation, and that's why I chose to be involved.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, that's all right. Put that one on the side, yeah? Okay, so next question. This goes directed at Verity. Do you feel that your manifesto points are all achievable?
Okay. I do feel that all my manifesto points are achievable. I know what is achievable through my current role, and I know what the university can control. I know what the Students' Union control and what we can persuade the university to do. It's pointless putting points in manifestos that are going to cost a fortune, and we're never going to get the money off the university. So I think all my manifesto points are achievable and actually will affect students on a day-to-day running of their courses and university life. Have I got anything else to say?
Next up, Thomas. Same question, would you like to pass on?
Okay. Yeah, I do feel to an extent all of my points in my manifesto are achievable. I think I've been speaking to some of the people on the elections committee, and they've said obviously I had to amend some of the ones that I really, really wanted to do. Say, for example, to scrap the £3 minimum that you have to spend on cards in the refectory. So apparently to scrap it, then I'd have to go through the entire like banking system in Wales. So like that cannot be done. But like obviously, let's say for points like this, it's possible to reduce it. So I think if I cannot like do, say for example, make like City 24 hours, then I do especially want to at least extend the opening hours, because it's just like too early. It doesn't feel like a university. Oh, that's all right. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. So this next one then, Tom, goes directed for you straight away. Would you like to pass me now?
Yeah.
Do you feel as if you have taken into account both campuses and the benefits for both City and Caerleon?
Yes, definitely. Like, I think that at the moment I spend like an equal amount of time on both campuses. Like I live around City campus in like walking distance. I'm in there like a lot when I'm doing work at home, and also I'm on the in my third year as a religious studies student. So all of my lectures are on this campus. So I feel that I know both campuses like equally as well, and yeah, most I think I've taken both of them into account, but I also feel that Caerleon is already really, really good, and like, it's definitely the more lively of the two campuses, whereas like City again it doesn't feel like lively enough. So that's why I want most of my points on my manifesto are to do with City, to get up to Caerleon's level and make them both really awesome for students.
Next to Verity.
Okay. I think I've taken into account both campuses in my manifesto. I think the representation on Caerleon is a lot better than at City. We've got the sports teams, societies, and more community here. But we are slowly improving at City. This year we've got a social space, we've got a shop. No, we can't hold that many events. We've tried, but for the security at City campus, we'd have to pay hundreds of pounds a night to have events there. So I'm not saying it's not possible, and there's no space for it there, but I think there is alternatives, and I think my manifesto has incorporated both campuses. I want to use volunteers, as I said in my opening speech, to increase representation, so find out what students want. Maybe we could send them down to City campus to find out what the students want there in particular, and what we can do to improve it there.
Well, that's the end of the hustings here. We'd like to thank all the candidates for coming up, and thank you very much for delivering your manifestos and answering some questions.